And I like the character development in this film because it makes you actually give a crap about these characters. And so when they are in danger, you actually care what happens to them. And they're likable. They're not assholes. Um, so I like that. And then basically they end up going to this dam. They get hunted, chased after by Miguel Ferrer and Linda Purl because Miguel Ferrer's friend, Ian Tracey, who we find out his brother, he broke, he basically left him because they had an argument over the girl, Linda Purl, Helen, and he ends up getting a really wimpy sort of fight with Michael O'Keefe on a bridge, and Michael O'Keefe just throws him off the bridge and he dies. It's really not very exciting or anything. And then but I didn't mind the sequence when Michael Keefe, Jack finds out a way that they can escape and get out from the dam, get across the other side, and this like sort of almost kind of like a cable car, and so there's a sequence where Miguel Ferrer and Linda Purl chasing after them, and he ends up putting all the survivors. Of course, they were hiding earlier, and they basically got surprised because Miguel Ferrer starts shooting, and he actually shoots Jack's sister in the arm. And so they end up, Jack's end up getting all the survivors, the people, Begley Jr., the kid Sam, the blind lady Michelle Johnson, played by Michelle Johnson, and his sister, get them all into the cart and send them off. But he just holds onto this rope and he sends it off, and so you have this nice bit of stunt work where it's really high above a waterfall, and you have Michael O'Keefe or a stunt person hanging onto this rope, with nothing but rocks and water below him, and I thought that was a pretty decent, well shot sequence. It was good stunt work and fairly suspenseful. And then after they get off of that, they survive that ordeal. Then they end up going to the fish hatchery and get some help from the security guard guy, who ends up getting knocked out by Miguel Ferrer. And you also had this thing where Linda Purl, I guess Miguel Ferrer, because they're chasing after them on the tram or trolley or whatever, and Miguel Ferrer falls off the thing that he's holding on to and gets knocked out temporarily. Linda Purl takes his gun. She goes go hunt after her husband and to get more money, because it's all about the Benjamins, of course. And then what happens is the film really gets really lackluster, lame, just honestly pretty shitty climax where, Miguel Ferrer, he knocks out the security guard, grabs a gun. Michael O'Keefe's like, we got to get out of here because they're underground in this office building. They called for help, called 911, and they're on their way, but they still have to deal with these criminals who are coming after them. Linda Purl, she's there, and Linda Purl, Helen's got a gun pointed. It's like, give me the money, and don't turn around or I'll shoot you. Don't try to follow me or I'll shoot you. They're like, okay, whatever. And then what happens the next scene? She gets the money, and then Miguel Ferrer's like, oh, thank God, Helen, you got the money? She's like, yeah, I got it. And then she shoots Miguel Ferrer. And then she says, oh, it's nothing personal. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, of course. We'll do that movie. Let's pull a fucking note from Lockout, of all things, where we won't even have the main hero faced off with the main villain at the end of the movie. I love that. I really do. I love that when a movie like this does that. It's not a twist because we already know right from the beginning that she's kind of has screwed up motivations from the beginning. And so then the end of the film, the climax, isn't even a climax. Linda Purl, which is supposed to be some big twist, it isn't a twist at all. She's standing behind a fan, because the shadow is showing her face, and she's overacting her ass off, complaining to Ed Begley Jr., her husband. He's like, thank God you're alive, Helen. And she's like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, if you could, I just wanted a wife. Do you know what being married to you was like? It was like being an emotional straitjacket. It was just strangle me with a straitjacket, because I don't want to hear this overacting soap opera bullshit at the end of this movie. So what happens is Michael O'Keefe shows up, puts a gun to her. It's like, drop the gun. I don't care. You can shoot your husband if you want, but I'm more worried about what you're going to do afterwards. So she promptly shoots Ed Begley Jr. Then she turns around to try to shoot Michael O'Keefe. He shoots her. He has this kind of fun one-liner when they're just laying with gunshot wounds next to each other. Michael O'Keefe's like, you know, you two should try marriage counseling. Oh, okay, that was kind of funny. And then the ending is just a typical sort of happy ending where Michael O'Keefe, gets the girl, which in this case is a blind woman, which is different. And then his sister is okay, everybody's okay. Sam meets up with his mother, and then the movie ends, and then that's it. There's really not much I really have to say about Incident at Deception Ridge. It wasn't a very memorable incident. I would have liked the film a lot more if it didn't pull that bullshit at the end where, oh, look at us, we're being smart with a twist. It's not a twist. It's stupid. Don't do that. I hate anticlimactic endings like that. Miguel Ferrer it should be the main villain. He should have gotten some kind of fight or fisticuff or some kind of battle with Michael O'Keefe. And then, maybe he grabs the kid and so or grabs his sister and he's got to get her back. I know it's cliched. That's cliched. But that's the way these type of movies should end, in my opinion. They shouldn't end with this bullshit with, fuck you, husband. It's like, how dare you? You were sleeping around with all these guys. And I was like, yeah, because you made me live in an emotional straitjacket. You're like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't. This is supposed to be an action thriller type movie. It's not thrilling when you have a limp dick anticlimactic ending like this movie has, which ultimately just makes the movie forgettable and not a movie I want to watch again because the ending sucks. So yeah. Everything up to that point I didn't mind. I like the fact the mistaken identity thing. I like Michael O'Keefe. And Begley Jr., like I said, played a good dick. Miguel Ferrer was a good villain. There was some decent, really nice sort of realistic tone to it where it felt really, close to home at points. And the characters were likable. But the ending blows. So, and that's basically... It's not Strays bad, it's not Jaws of Revenge bad, but it's not a great movie by any means. A 4.9 out of 10 I think is even too high. I'd probably maybe 4.4 or 4.3. So ultimately at the end of the day, if I was going to rate Incident at Deception Ridge out of 5 stars, I think I'll give it 2.5. 2.5 out of 5. A below mediocre film because of that ending. I mean, I would have just had it like a above mediocre film if it had a cool ending. Because there were some things about the film I liked. But the ending sucked. So anyway, but I'm glad, Bill Bon Jovi sent it to me. Thank you. And thanks for watching my review of Incident at Deception Ridge. And I'll see you guys later. See ya.